when you're saying I'm a private equity firm, is that because of the licenses that you went out to get versus saying it seems like you're a private equity firm that's involved in real estate syndications for various asset classes?
Yes.
And most of the time, I'm meeting where they're networking event and they're more syndicators. They have their 50XX, they have that document that they've paid for. And it seems like you're doing on the next level where you went and got licensed and you've created this firm.
That's 100% right. So, all right. So let's just break it down for everybody out there, right? Um, so private equity in the sense that, look, if you have, I don't know, $500,000 in the bank and, it's in a checking account, but you're like, you know what? I think I should be doing something. You have a couple options. You have a ton of options. But, what do most people do? They go to the local financial advisor. Um, it's called an RIA, a registered investment advisor. And they might work for LPL Financial. They might work for Wells Fargo. They might work for a private label, and they're going to help you. They're going to get to know your goals, and they're going to get to know, you want for cash flow, retirement, and they're going to try to sell you securities, right? It sounds a little bit nutty to say, but they're going to try and sell you securities, whether that be mutual funds, exchange traded funds,
Yes.
bonds, CDs, stock portfolios, annuities, life insurance, and they're going to try to build a portfolio, and that's great. That works for a lot of people. But there's also, and I didn't realize this at the time, is that there's an insane amount of people that doesn't work for. They want income producing assets. They want quote unquote alternative options from the everyday menu of stocks and bonds. Maybe it's too volatile. Maybe they're looking for income. Maybe they're looking for, whatever their financial goals might be. It might not be satisfied by that financial advisor and what they have to offer. And I didn't realize how big the market was, but it's enormous, right? So now let's say somebody wants to be involved in real estate. They make a lot of money, or they make a good amount of money, or they had a liquidity event, or they had they sold a property that was in the family for 30 years. And they don't want to be an active landlord, right? And you have to be really clear about, active landlords doing all the things, being in charge of everything, the debt, the bills, the rent collection, everything, versus being passive, and you're letting go of that, decision making quality, and you're trusting your capital with an operator that is either vertically integrated and they own all their own property management companies and asset managers, and this is what they do every day for a living, and they have multi-million-dollar portfolios. Because that's what pension funds and life insurance companies and larger pref equity groups, these are the types of deals that Greg and I are now doing. But we're able to bring in the everyday investor, John Q. Public and Jane Q. Public. Now we can offer those types of investments alongside of some of the big pools of money. But we're buying 200, 300, 400 unit multifamily apartment complexes in the Sun Belt and the Carolinas and Tennessee and the Midwest. And we're working with operators. And when I say an operator, they're the people who get the deal under contract. They get the debt. They have the property management companies. They do the asset management. They do some of the investor relations. They do the accounting. They do the legal work, right? They do the renovations. They do all that stuff, the leasing, the evictions. And you're just coming along in the process as a passive investor. And the idea is that you invest a portion of your capital, say 100,000 or 50,000, and in return, you're getting either monthly or quarterly distributions from cash flow. And whenever there's a liquidity event or a refinance or a sale of the property, you get your original capital back plus any appreciation that the property may have generated from the sale. Now, that was a lot of information, so I'll throw it back to you. And if you
Yeah.
want to open that up a little bit.